Good morning, grade 8s, and welcome back to WorksheetCloud. I'm so glad that you've joined me again today. This is grade 8 English. I'm Mrs. Goslet. And again, if you have any questions, please email grade8@worksheetcloud.com. Welcome to you if you are new and this is the first time you're seeing my lesson. I'm grateful to anyone who's watching. Please grab a notebook and pen. You will need this for today's lesson. Today's lesson is on prefixes and suffixes. Now again, if you've done this will be a great revision lesson for you. And if you haven't, maybe you can learn a new thing or two. Let's look at the word reheated. Now, grade 8s, can you identify the root word? Okay, don't all of you shout out at once at me. Just raise your hand. Yes, you? Heat is the root word. So well done. A root word is the simplest form of a word. It can have beginnings and endings. When we combine root words with beginnings and endings, it creates new words. Now we are going to look for the beginning and endings that were added to the word heat. So this is our prefix, re. So re is added to the beginning that is attached to the root word. Our root word was heat. Okay, and it's going to alter or change its meaning, and this is called a prefix. Re means again, so when we see this word, we know that it means to heat again. Now we're going to look at the end of the word. This is added to the end of the word, so it's called a suffix. A suffix can change the part of speech or the tense of the word. Ed is added to words to make them past tense. That means the root word heat, a verb that's happened in the past. So now we know that reheated means heated again in the past. Each of these word parts contribute to the meaning of a word. Knowing about root words, suffixes, prefixes can help you determine the meaning of unfamiliar words. Right, let's look at root words. A root word is a word in its simplest form. A root word has nothing added to it. So here are some examples. Fresh, arrange, appear, honest, loyal. Now if we look at some of these words, what can we add to change it? So if you're on the internet and it's lagging a bit, we can refresh the page. So I'm going to add a prefix to that word. All of us are finding ourselves that we have a lot of time on our hands. And so we'd like to rearrange our cupboards. So we can also use the prefix re for rearrange, reorganize. Then we can use the prefix disappear. So you were here and now all of a sudden you're gone, you've disappeared. Honest, dishonest, that's not good. You must always be honest. I always feel that honesty is the best policy and the truth will always come out. So always be honest. You can be disloyal or unloyal. Hopefully you guys are all loyal to your friends. Please grab that piece of paper or the notebook for me, I'd like you to identify the root words in the following examples. Played, running, reheat, quickly, and unhappy. So you can pause the screen so that you can write the root words down for me. Okay, let's look at it. Play is the root word in played. Run is the root word in running. Heat is the root word in reheat. That was an easy one because I already did that one with you. Quickly, quick is the root word. And lastly, happy in unhappy, that is the root word. Prefixes are added to the beginning of a root word. Okay, so we saw in a lot of those examples, it's before. They change the meaning of a root word. So let's look at how it changes. So if you're conscious, you're awake, you're aware. Now if we add the prefix un to conscious, you get unconscious. That's bad. You're not awake, something bad's happened. Normally if you get a head injury in rugby or in hockey or any contact sport where something can hurt you, you can become unconscious. Then redo. To do something, you do it immediately. To redo it is to attempt it again. So I'm redoing this lesson because I'm not happy with it. Okay, prefixes, we're going to look at un, means not or the opposite of. So uncomfortable means not comfortable. So maybe you're at home now, you're in comfortable pants or comfortable clothing, and you know what's going to happen today. You're not going to be put in a nervous situation. Whereas uncomfortable, maybe you went to school and it's your first day and the teacher asks you to tell you what's your name and tell me something about yourself in front of the whole class. Oh, don't you hate that when that happens? Then we've got untrue, means the opposite of true. Okay, so that's that you're not telling the truth, you're making up lies, it's untrue. What does untidy mean? Okay, it's the opposite of tidy. So your room is neat and tidy. Nope, this morning you didn't make your bed, you've left your clothes lying on the floor, so it's untidy. The prefix re means again. So we saw that in that example, redo, to do it again. Rebuild means to build again. Repaint means to paint again. So you kind of get where I'm going with this. So what does rethink mean? It means to think again. Grab that pen and that paper. I'm going to ask you to please fill in a prefix. So here with do, I want you to think of something to go there. We've got happy again, so that's the easy one. Clear, read, pack. And then I want you to read the meaning on this side, and I want you to match which word links with the meaning. You can pause the screen. We're going to look at the answers now. So hopefully you got this right. So the first one was redo. Okay, we had that one already. My apologies. So that means to do again. Just like I've asked you it again. Unhappy, when you are not happy. You're sad, you're angry, or you're just not happy about the situation. If something is unclear, you don't understand, or it's the opposite of being clear. Reread, so you're reading a paragraph again because maybe somebody was interrupting you. Unpack, it's always fun to pack your bag for a journey, wherever you're going, if it's overseas, if it's just local, or if it's just for the weekend going to a friend. Or if it's even grade 8 camp, you get excited, you pack your bag. But then when you return, you have to take all that clothing out again. So that's to unpack your bag. I always prefer packing a bag because it's exciting. And then when I come home, the journey's over. So I don't want to unpack my bag. Okay, let's look at some of the prefixes and their meanings, and then there's an example. So non, un, im. So the meaning is not, or it could mean opposite. So nonsense. You're speaking nonsense now. And again, our same example, unhappy. Can we think of something that im will go with? I'm thinking of the word perfect. If something is imperfect, it's not perfect. Then we've had this one, but we're experts at it now. Again or back. So revisit, we will revisit this. Mom, please, can I go to my friend's house for the weekend? I'll think about it, I will revisit it. Maybe that's not such a great example. Replay, please can you replay that scene of The Bachelorette? I missed it. Then miss means wrongly or not. So if you misunderstand something, misinterpret something. Okay, D is reverse, remove, or out of. And our examples are destruction and department. Then we've got the with, together, con, come, co, construct, computer, commute. Then we've got dis, diff, and die. Separation, away or apart, disease, or dissect. Difficult. Something like that. Suffixes. Okay, so this is at the end of the word. I hope you're all awake. So this can also change the meaning of the word. Let's look at some suffixes. We've got state of being, position, promotion, cohesion, affection, ambition. Then here they've got the meaning, become, meditate, collaborate, create, eradicate. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of them, just so you have lots of examples. You can always pause the screen and write a few down if you didn't know them. So full, we're going to look at that as well. Handful, playful, hopeful. Then having the form, psychological, hypocritical, methodical. Having the nature of, inquisitive, informative, attentive. Then less means without. So if something is meaningless, it's not full of meaning, if you know what I'm saying. Hopeless, homeless, that's awful. Mindless. ly related to quality. So how soft were you speaking? Softly. How slow were you speaking? Slowly. Happily, crazily. Then ward or wards, towards, that's its direction. I'm going this way, backwards, that type of thing. Right, so I hope you learned some different or new suffixes. Here are some more examples. Okay, so wreckage is a result. Importance, so we're looking at the ins. An action or state. Assistant, the ant, is a person. Referee, the E, is a person. Difference, the ENCE, is an action or state. Favorite one, teacher. So that's a person again. We're adding the ER. Bakery, it's a place of work or type. Waitress, ESS, makes it a feminine form. And then spoonful. Oh, how many of you have watched Mary Poppins? Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. I promised my husband I wouldn't sing, but it just happened. I'm so sorry. So spoonful, as much as will full. Okay, the full. It's your turn to do a little activity for me. Same as previous one. Grab your pen and your paper. And you are going to add a suffix to the end of the word. To loud, color, wonder, sudden, and play. Then I'd like you to match it to its meaning. Please pause the screen so that you can write down your answers. I'm going to move on to the answers. I've picked up a mistake and I do apologize. If we look here quickly, I've spelt the word color wrong. It was probably an autocorrect, but I'm sorry. This is how you spell color in British English. We follow the British way. This is how you spell color the American way, and that's called an Americanism. So color here is actually supposed to have a U. So can you think of more examples of Americanisms? You get behavior. That's again I-O-U-R. They drop the U. They're quite lazy, so they drop that U away. Recognize. You don't use the Z, you use an S. And lastly, my kids always say to me, "Ma'am, that's wrong." And I use it now in my example, kids. So in British English, we say children. So kids is also an Americanism. So that was just a side note because I made a mistake. I do apologize profusely. I hope you will forgive me, grade 8s. So let's look at your answers. The suffix here we're going to use is ly. So hopefully you said loudly. That means in a loud way. Colorful, the full is full of color. Wonderful, that is full of wonder. Suddenly, it's to happen in a sudden manner. Playful, full of play. Before you go, I'd like to just recap on what we learned today. We learned that teachers make mistakes, and we learned about root words, prefixes and suffixes, and how prefixes and suffixes can change the meaning of the root word. It's important to know how to break this up so that you can understand the word fully, especially if it's a new word that you don't recognize or understand. After this, there will be activities for you to do. Please do them so that you can just practice and know that you are capable of answering the worksheets. If you have a question, or again, if you want me to look at something specific, please email us grade 8 at WorksheetCloud.com. And I really wasn't planning on singing grade 8s, so sorry about that. Things to remember. So we always have motivation at the end, and I think this is very apt. I love this. Tomorrow is a new day, because just like today, I made a mistake, whoops, but tomorrow is a new day. I'll be better at my lessons, or I'll be in a better mood. I won't be so tired or grumpy. So we can always scratch today off and just focus on new day tomorrow. This is so apt or appropriate for this lesson. Making mistakes is a part of life. So this is so true, and sometimes we are so hard on ourselves, especially me. If I make a mistake, I'm very hard on myself not to do that again. But it is just a part of life, and it happens. Saying no is okay. You don't have to always say yes to everything. And then this is one lesson I've really had to learn, and it was quite challenging, but not everyone has to like you, or not everyone's going to like you. That's just how life is. And you know what? It's okay. Then the last one, beauty and strength come from within. So that is just something to remember for today. Grade 8s, I'd like you to be positive. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, because you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. And that's what's so great. Thank you again for watching. This lesson was brought to you by WorksheetCloud. Have a lovely weekend. Rest. Enjoy this time with your family. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye.